Hey, it's Peter again from the band Time Warp. Hopefully you're getting no Time Warp. The Houston area 80s and 90s rock band. But we're back again to show you another one of the lights that our good friend Shehds we're working with that we are using now. And these are for, so I've mentioned in some of the other videos that we play at, thankfully, some bigger venues, which is always fun. If anybody's in a band, I'd love to play in, the stadium for the Houston Texans. Don't think that's going to happen, but anyway, so we love playing in a lot of those bigger venues, but we also play in a lot of places that might be restaurants that have an outdoor area that has bands, a little bit smaller venues. And so as much as we love these, bigger lights, we don't have room for a lot of those. So we decided to work with Shehds and to use these beautiful things. And these things, as I have it backwards, which is always really great. These are the LED Beam 12 by 12 watt RGB moving heads. These things are really, really cool. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, they don't do all the functions that are 19 by 15 watt moving heads. They don't zoom, they don't do different things like that. But the key is we wanted something a little bit smaller that would still have lights moving and strobing and just different things like that. We still wanted that feature, but in a smaller package. And I will tell you, these really fit the bill. So we're gonna kind of tell you what comes in the package besides, again, the beautiful light here. So as I've always mentioned with the Shehds lights that we get, one of my biggest things I love is all the lights that we give have the PowerCon. So you can see the PowerCon in and out, stuff like that. And I've probably kind of beat that with a dead horse talking about it, but when you start doing lighting, to be able to daisy chain and to be able to have PowerCon connections that don't pull out, it's huge. It is really big because, when we're playing on stage, I don't want something weird to happen and something gets unplugged and now nothing in the light show works. So it does come, again, with PowerCon connectors and stuff for your power. It does come with a DMX cable. The only thing I would say that's a little small disappointment is this particular DMX cable is definitely a cheaper version than the ones that they send with the bigger ones. And I get it. This is a much lower priced light. But that's probably the only little bit of a piece that I go, I wish they would send one that's still got like the metal connections and stuff. And so the other thing they do come with is this part, not the piece that we're hooking to the actual truss, but it does come with a way to be able to, hook it onto a truss, and then we buy these little pieces that are really awesome also. The only thing is this doesn't come with a quick release, and again, some pricing, something's got to give, so I'm not trying to by any means, say anything that's really negative, but I was worried that I was going to lose this little Allen wrench screw. So what I decided is I found some that are like this, just a little bit bigger. Again, don't know if you can really see it, but found some that are just a little bit bigger that I don't need an Allen wrench to, to screw them on and all that, and that helped dramatically. So kind of fix that problem, if you will. So like I say, we'll give you some specs on this. So again, 144 watts, it's a 12 by 12 watt, LED light. DMX control is either 9 or 16 channels, which has been really great because you can do a lot with 16 channels in terms of controlling stuff. Flash rate is from 0 to 10 hertz. It does dim. It's from 0 to 100%. It's a mechanical dimmer. And the product size is 12 inches by 9.84, almost 10 inches by almost 6, 5.9. And it's 10.14 pounds, so 10 pounds. It's kind of funny when you're messing with the larger ones and then you come back to this little thing. This is like, oh my gosh, yeah, I can handle this all day long. So again, very impressive in terms of, I've been very pleased with everything that we've gotten from Shehds. Everything I think is really built well. It's I think really good quality. They ship very quickly. I've mentioned that in other videos. I think the most we've ever, waited for a product might be 5 days, and that's amazing. And then it's packed really well. So when we get it, again, never had anything that's come in damaged or anything like that. It's packed really well. So let's fire this thing up. We'll show you what the display does, and then we'll show you what the light itself does. That's kind of why everybody's here, isn't it? So we've got the lovely Shehds 12x12 moving head here. So let's go over some of the details of the display and what all you can choose from. Pretty cool little display. So hopefully what you're seeing, let's see if we can get it up, is you've got different modes. So obviously, right, you've got a show mode. Now within show mode, you've got actually a DMX mode that says a console mode. You've got a fast, a slow, and then a sound mode. So as you're pushing through here, you'll see there's your sound going through that, and that's your sound sense, meaning the sound sensitivity. Well, this is actually going through the display, so let me get back to normal. So here's your DMX address set, and so like in our case, this one's already set for 211, address 211. So we have two of these that we use, and obviously they're different addresses. And then what you can do is go up and down to, whoops, let me get back to the right thing. So you have like I said, you have a show mode and a sound sense, and then the pan inverse is if you want to turn or do the different direction on the pan versus there's a tilt one where you can do an inverse and change the motor direction and stuff for that. This is where you can do the while adjustment, is where you can do red adjustment, green adjustment, blue adjustment, white adjustment. Default confirm is initializing stuff, you know, kind of factory setting, and then you got a fixture reset. So, you know, it's really simple to be able to, you know, program the things that you want to program in on this. It's a little bit more basics than some of the bigger models, but that's partly because the actual unit really doesn't have all the functions that a bigger one does. But again, I can't stress enough, for our small shows, we love this little unit. It works great. So let's get into checking out how the unit looks with some lights flying everywhere. Got to show you what these incredible 12x12 Shehds moving heads does. So, you know, I've got a few things that are set up on it. This is some moves that we do with different songs within our band, and at the end, as I mentioned, you'll see them in action with the band, but this will kind of give you an idea. So, you know, when we do our band, of course, we have some other lights that are up here, but since I'm really trying to review these, and these are really cool and fun and very, you know, again, they're not real huge. That's the thing that I think we really love about them, is they're not going to break your back to try to get them up on a truss. So these are actually up on a truss, but give you an idea of what they do. So, you know, to start a show, we actually kind of do some stuff with some blue lights that have them kind of shimmering in and out, stuff like that. And so when we go to the first song, you'll kind of see, so they'll switch, and we have them, you know, doing different moves that are within the program we use. So, you know, this particular move that I've got them going on, you know, it's called a triangle, but, you know, you can kind of get an idea. Color-wise, they are very bright, and this is only at 75%. So these are not full power, you know, right now. And so in this particular case, we go from one song to another song. This is actually on a butterfly, as it's called, mode, to where it's given different versions of a pink and stuff like that, which is really cool. Then if we go into like Blitzkrieg Bach, you know, we have them again doing something a little bit different. And you can see again, even on blue, these things are really, really bright. And they really have good colors, I will say that. So, you know, what you'll see kind of going through this is, I'm hoping the camera color-wise will showcase it, but I mean, blue looks like blue. It doesn't look like some kind of halfway there color, stuff like that. Then when we go in between songs, and they usually go to some version of a either down or out front. This particular, you know, concept is where we do have them going down, and they're in a violet color. And then again, you'll just kind of see, now this particular one is, we went back to blue, but they're doing a different, you know, a movement. Now you'll get an idea of, again, a little bit more of the brightness. And this particular one, let me look here real quick. But again, remember, these are at 75%. These are not full. And yet, you know, this is on the yellow color, and hopefully you're seeing it looks like yellow. The colors on these are really, really awesome. But easy to work with. I'll kind of go over some of those details too. Well, I did in the earlier part of the video, but really, really easy to work with. And, again, back to an in-between song where we just try to do something different. So a pink where it's pointed a different direction. Kind of funny, we keep hitting some of these songs that are kind of slower songs as I'm going through our song list. This particular thing is for Watermelon Sugar. But, as we get into some of these other ones, this particular one I want to say has... yeah, this has got kind of a, what is it called? It's got a beat track thing that's going to it. So it's going between a green and a blue. And boy, like I say, don't know why I keep hitting the blues on this, but this is for, the colors for hit me with your best shot. And so we try to just do different things where they have different movements. And what's really cool is, like, sometimes the movement is the same, or we may offset it so it doesn't look like they're exactly the same movement. This particular one, we actually separated them out so that way we could make, the one on the right, push in, and the one on the left push in also, versus if we hadn't separated them out, the one on the left would be going out from the stage, not in towards it. So, very crazy easy to do. There's a red for I Met With You, that particular song. Again, a beat flash, so it's got some cool things it's doing. But again, hopefully what you're seeing is the colors are really, really, if you're wanting red, you're getting red. And again, red at 75%, not even all the way out there. Really pretty quiet. The fan noise on these is just a little bit higher than some of the ones I've heard, but not too crazy bad whatsoever. I've actually got another fan that's on me, unfortunately, trying to keep me cool, but fan noise and all that kind of stuff is actually pretty quiet. And we'll head down to, well, you've already seen enough of the blues. Let's get to some other different colors. So there's, back to the purple and stuff. So keep in mind, when we do these, we have other lights with it. So in the middle, we're using, Shed has some 18 by 18 pars. When we get to the videos at the end, you'll kind of see that we've mixed those in the middle. Then we have the 12 by 12s that are just outside of the 2 or 3, depending on, how big the stage is, of the pars. We have these 12 by 12s, and then we actually have some Shed's 100-watt gobo lights that are on the very edge. And that combination with all of that really looks cool. We've got them not only going different directions, different colors, but, when the gobos are either shooting out to the crowd or shooting down on the stage, we sometimes play on stages where we're 5 feet in the air, and the crowd's not really going to see what it's shooting down on the stage. So sometimes it's out to the crowd, sometimes it's, down onto the stage. So, here's the white version. And again, the only thing I would say on these is when you get to white, it's really hard with a LED light to get a true white, but these do a good job of kind of almost in a way having like a pearl white, which is kind of cool. But again, extremely bright and very easy to work with. And like I say, with the movements and stuff like that, hopefully you can see, these things will do anything in terms of a movement. They're really easy to work with, stuff like that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of, what these things look like, both colors and again, some of the different things that they can do. I'm just trying to get some different, some of these different songs that we do and how we've got them programmed and stuff. And I'm really learning more how we can make them do some neat things. I've honestly tried to stay away a little bit from strobe effects, which it will very much do. In fact, I'll kind of give you an idea of, what it will do with regards to doing kind of the strobe piece of it. But let me get to... let's see. Yeah, so here's like a lightning concept that it'll do. Here's if it does kind of the beat flash. Here's if it did like a shade to where it kind of, you know, opening and closing a shade. And we have one that does like rain, is what this one is, which is kind of cool. This is like a droplet. So just like, and again, you know, depending on the program you're using, obviously these can go faster, slower, just different things like that. Here's the beat strike, as they call it. And then, you know, barn doors, where it's opening and then closing and stuff like that. So again, you know, some really cool things that it'll do. Let me also really just give you an idea of, you know, if I turn them off, this is 25%. So hopefully you can kind of get an idea. You know, here's 50%. Back to the normal 75. And then hopefully you can see it, you know, but this is at 100%. So again, I very much, especially if you've got a smaller space, but you really want some cool moving lights, these will definitely do the trick. We've been very happy with these. In fact, I think we're gonna probably add 2 more so we could just, again, have them moving different directions. Very lightweight, very easy if you want to put on trusses. We've actually also had them on the top of microphone stand, well, light stand, stuff like that, and they work right that direction too. But you know, we really have enjoyed them because they're so easy to you know, put up. They don't weigh much. The PowerCon in and out, being able to daisy chain this thing and just go straight from one side all the way over, and you're done with it type thing. So we'll check out some of the videos with the band next, and hopefully you're enjoying this. And if you got questions, we've got a link down below if you don't mind to, if you want to order some, if you'll use our link, we really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything different. You still get all the specials and all that kind of stuff, but it kind of helps us out if we're buying some stuff with Shehds. So hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the band videos coming up next.
Write yourself